Good morning, wine lovers, and welcome to the Save SA Wine live stream. This morning is going to be an exciting morning. It's Friday, and things are really interesting. We've got a lot of things happening today, and the first thing I want to give you guys a sneak peek on the 60 and 60 campaign. We've got quite a few of our producers that signed up for this campaign, and I'm just going to give you guys a sneak peek of who's actually signed up so far. Firstly, we've got Abingdon Wine Estate. As you guys know, Abingdon is in the KwaZulu-Natal Islands. I've also done a podcast with Abingdon previously, and they are one of our features estate in the 1660 campaign. Then we've got Aslina Wines. We've got Blackpool Vineyards. We've got the Bosman Family Vineyards. We've got David and Nadia wines. We've got Erika Obermeyer. Then we've got an MCC, Genevieve MCC. Then we've got Kleine Zalze from Stellenbosch signing up. We've got Luddite wines. We've got Natte Valley Estate. We've got Nadia wines. We've got Spioenkop wines. We've got the Springfield Estate. We've got Strydom family wines, and we've got Thorne and daughters. And I hear from Erika Taylor that many more people are signing up. So if you're a winery and you want to sign up, just contact Erika at Uncorkified. For everybody seeing this, please share this um, post with hashtag 1660, hashtag Save SA Wine, hashtag Drink South African. And please comment on Instagram. Go to our Instagram.com/save savsawine.co.za. I'm going to repeat that. We need your comments on Instagram. Please go to Instagram.com/save savwine.co.za. So this campaign is going to be very, very exciting, and I just really think it's important that we keep on sharing, we keep on doing this. Our producers really need your help, and let me just give you a quick explanation of how the campaign is going to work. We will be featuring one South African wine producer every single day for 60 days, from the 30th of August until the 28th of September. So, what you guys need to do is follow every day, follow every post, share. You've got to buy wine from every single of the 60 producers. No, that's just a joke. If you can, obviously, that will be fantastic. But support as many of these guys that you can, because we need your help. Use the hashtag 1660, hashtag Save SA Wine, and hashtag Drink South African. And here is why we need your help. Um, as you all know, South Africa has had a recent nationwide prohibition on alcohol, and according to Vinpro estimates, over 90% of your wineries are in trouble. And the entire wine industry could lose more than 15% of our wineries in South Africa, which is horrible. 12.6% of our grape growers are in trouble, and we could lose them. And that equates to more than 18,000 jobs over the next year and a half, which is an absolute tragedy if you look at the extended family impact of this. Wine tourism has already lost more than 2.5 billion rand in revenue between March and July 2020. Furthermore, we are sitting on a surplus of more than 300 million liters of wine, with an impending harvest. So, lots of challenges that the industry still face. Even though the alcohol ban is lifted, it does not mean we can celebrate. We need to not be complacent. The domestic ban was lifted on the 18th of August, but we have 5 months of damage, which was really a carnage, and it's put the nail in the coffin of many wine producers. So we need your help. So please take part. Please share the hashtag 1660, hashtag Save SA Wine, and hashtag Drink South African. So, this is an appeal to everyone in the group to actually do this. Um, this is one of our most important campaigns we've had so far. So we need you guys to take part and thank you to everyone that is taking part. Just while we're on the thank yous, um, we just want to say a big thank you to our sponsor of your morning live stream, the Fishwives Club. The Fishwives Club are still having a lockdown special that ends on the 31st of August. They are giving us a 45% discount on a case of Merlot, 6 bottles in a case, and a case of Sauvignon Blanc. You won't ever get it at this discounted price again, 45% off. Just go to fishwivesclub.gr8.com and get your discount there. It ends on the 31st of August, so you only have, 72 hours left to actually to get that. Then our Wineland Spy has been busy, and our Wineland Spy has actually found something interesting. This is called Babushka. She, as you can see, she's a Russian doll, and she graces the entrance of Hazendal. So go to Hazendal, go visit Babushka, and this is a great thing to do this weekend. If you get to Babushka, please take a picture for us with Babushka and post it on the group. We would love that. And there might be a prize for somebody posting a Babushka video. We'll see. So a Babushka video or a Babushka image, right? Just take pictures. Go visit Heisenlal. That would be fantastic. Then the other thing that's happening next week is we've got Cap Classic Day. We've been interviewing 6 of your top Cap Classic producers. If you are drinking bubbly, please use the hashtag Cap Classic Day. Please share this on your Instagram, on your Facebook, on your Twitter, on all your social media, and please support your bubblies. We'll be having a big celebration on the 1st of September, the ideal date to send some flowers and obviously also to get some bubbly flowing, and send a bubbly gift with your flowers to your loved one. That'll be fantastic. And tune in on the first to listen to our podcast of 6 of your top producers. If you want to find a Cap Classic and you don't know where to find one, just go to bit.ly/findmcc. That is bit.ly/findmcc, and you will get uh, our producers listed there. Then the other thing you need to do if you want to find some wine or want to support one of your wineries and you're overseas or anywhere in South Africa, we've got a whole comprehensive list that's updated daily. It's called bit.ly find SA wine. bit.ly/find SA wine. That is our announcements for today. It's Friday, so lots of exciting things happening. Um, and we are very excited, about this day. We're going to have an exciting live stream tonight at 7 o'clock. But now we're going to go to our featured podcast. Our podcast that's featured today is I had an interview with Marinda Blake from Blake Family Wines in the Swartland. So this is a very interesting interview to learn what they are doing. Also, another producer that needs our support. So without further ado, here's Marinda Blake from Blake Family Wines. Welcome to About the Winelands. In this show, we will be chatting to leaders, influencers, wine producers, restaurants, and other role players. Tune in every week for our latest episode. You will find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram TV, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Google Podcast. Hi everyone and welcome back to About the Winelands. Today I'm talking to Marinda Blake from Blake Family Wines. Hi Marinda and welcome to About the Winelands.
Hi, good morning, Will, and thanks for having us, because I think in these weird times that we live in, it's absolutely fantastic to connect and network with people.
Absolutely, and thank you for spending the time. I think, you guys have so many things to think about, and it must be quite testing times for you. So thank you also for coming on. And I think our listeners, always want to. I can see now that our listeners always want to hear more about who's behind a wine brand and what the stories are. So if you can start off by telling us a little bit about yourself and how you became involved in the wine industry.
Yes, well, my love affair, with wine started when I was still a little girl. I didn't grow up in a traditional winelands region. I grew up in the Kleine. I grew up in Thorne. And my dad used to travel quite often, to the Boerland, And I remember as a little girl, always when he came home, and in those days it was 12-bottle wine cases. And he came home, and for me, I absolutely loved, to unpack the wine, take them out of those sleeves that you got those days and put them, in the wine racks. But then at the time, I never really thought of wine as a career. It was only when I was a student at Stellenbosch and I walked into a bookstore once, and there was a sale on books. And I picked up, this book, this wine appreciation book written by Tinus van die Kerk. I bought the book and then everything just clicked. And I thought, this is what I want to do. And when I finished my studies, and I started to work at Boervlei Winery in Wellington. And that's also where I met my husband, Andries. And he was at the time, he was a final year cellular technology student. And and when he finished, his studies, he started working at Rooiberg. And eventually we got married and I moved also to Robertson and I worked at the Wets of Wine Estate. And then I moved on to Cranbeck Wines. And then Andries got a fantastic, because he was working at the time under the well-known winemaker, Dassie Smith. Oh, yeah. And then Andries got a great job offer at Swartland Winery as cellar master. And he was there for almost 20 years. And that's actually where our love affair started, with the Swartland region.
Well, that's amazing. So you worked there, and then at what point did you guys decide to go on your own and start Blake Family Wines, and how did you start?
Yeah, well, the thing is, when Andries was at Swartland, he saw, because you must remember around about 25 years ago, the Swartland region wasn't such a popular wine area that it is today. It was a different type of Swartland, although the grapes, the terroir, the soil was still there. But when Andries was at Swartland, he saw these beautiful wines, just disappearing into these huge tanks, And then that's where the seed was planted. And then in 2011, we had our maiden vintage. And Andries always he preferred to work with blends rather than single cultivar wines, because he always believed, you can make a much more complex wine from a blend, because you can use all the different attributes, from the cultivars. So, and initially, we decided, we only started actually as a hobby. And we've decided we're going to do a Cape blend, because Andries absolutely, he loves to work with pinotage. And the Swartland has also got very good pinotage. And so we made our first vintage, was the Cape blend, and it's called Amethyst. And that is one of those wines, when you have it, you wish you can actually duplicate it, because that one, up until this day, it's a fantastic wine. And it was also selected as one of the APSA Purell top 5 Cape blend winners in 2014, and also sold at the Nederburg auction at a premium price. So that was our first vintage in 2011. And because we decided we're only going to do one blend. And then in 2013, Andries said, okay, let's do a white blend as well. But you must remember, at the time, Andries was still at Swartland, and it was still supposed to be a hobby. Then we did a white blend called the Tourmaline, a blend of Chenin, Chardonnay, Viognier. And then we realized, there's really a market for these wines. And it became much more than just a hobby. And it actually became my full-time job. And and as it grows, then after a couple of year or two along the line, Andries said, Miranda, we are from the Swartland. We can't not do a Chenin Blanc. So he rang my arm and we did a Chenin Blanc that is doing very, very well. And then he said to me again, Marinda, you know, absolutely, he loves Malbec. And many years ago, I would say it's around about 20, 22 years ago, Andries, together with a lot of wine growers from Scotland, they went to Argentina. And they came back and he was absolutely in love with Malbec. And at the time, you know, a lot of the farmers, they have planted Malbec. And there was a time when the Scotland had the biggest planting of Malbec in South Africa. But also those times, you know, it was hardly ever bottled as a single cultivar. It was more used in blends. But luckily not today anymore, you know, because you get wonderful Malbecs around. And then also Andries, you know, he even named his boat Malbec. So
Wow.
yeah, so we've got the 4 wines, you know, and that is our 4 premium wines that we bottle under our Blake label.
Well, that's amazing. I mean, he must really love his wine, because usually people will either name their boat after their wife, or if you're in Monaco, you name your boat after your girlfriend, right? I wonder if there's something similar in the wine industry. So they say the joke in the boating industry is, if you have the boat is named after your wife, it's called a Lady Marinda, and if it's after your girlfriend, it would just be called a Marinda.
But you know, the other thing is, well, you must remember, Malbec, a lot of people, they don't know what is Malbec. They don't know it's the name of a cultivar. And if you take it in Afrikaans, you know, the word Malbec, and you change the C to a K, then it sounds, you know, a lot of people actually thought that Andries named his boat after me. So
There you go.
but then yeah, so that proves your point.
I'm not saying a word anymore. So how would you actually, I mean, this is, I mean, what really stands out to me is one person who can sit there and see these wines actually went, you know, into bulk wine, and then realized that it could be much better, must have had a major impact on the actual value of the whole region, and the, you know, and the wines created, and then also more than that, to the land and everything attached to that.
Yes, no, absolutely. Because the thing is, you know, you can always, in a big winery, like, say, a cooperative, like a big winery, say, for instance, a Klaver or a Slanghoek or a Boertsa winery, you can make excellent wines, and they do. But, you know, if you go a bit smaller, you know, you're more hands-on. And, you know, it's like, you know, because we are very small, we try to be hands-on with everything, you know, from the making up until the marketing, you know. So we try, that's how come we always also named our wines after gemstones. Because you say we see our wines as our family gems, and we try to treat them as our family gems. So, because we really try to do our best thing, we buy in our grapes, because Andries knows the terroir of the Swartland very, very well. So we've got long-standing contracts for grapes, and then we buy in the best French oak that we can, and we try to do the best thing, because Andries, for him, he always says, you know, a winemaker has annually got one chance to make a good wine. And you know, that one chance, if you spend all your time and your effort into that wine, you're gonna live with the results of that harvest for quite a couple of years. So give it your best shot. Every wine that's in the cellar must be treated, you know, as an award-winning wine.
That's interesting. So, yeah, can you tell us a bit more? I mean, it sounds fascinating about, you know, the real philosophy around how you guys are making wine.
Yeah, you know, Andries is just for him, you know, what is very important for him. You know, Andries is still from the old school winemakers, if I can put it that way. And for him, you know, it's always, he says, stick to the basics. If your basics is right, you know, then everything else, you know, will fall in line, you know. So the basics is very important, you know, hygiene, get the best quality grapes that you can get, you know, use the best equipment, you know, give it your time, treat it, you know, treat the wine with respect, you know. So give it just your best shot, you know, then everything should should fall in place.
So, Miranda, your wines, where are they sold? Mostly locally, internationally? What is your marketing split?
Yeah, well, we sell online, and then also we have got a company that is doing our distribution in South Africa. We sell mainly in South Africa at niche wine shops, and also at restaurants and those type of places. And then also we export. We export quite a bit. We export currently to the Netherlands, to Germany, to France, Switzerland, Peru, USA, China, and then also we do, we do not just the 4 premium wines that we export to those countries, but we also got wine that we produce for customers in Nigeria and Tanzania, Uganda. We produce, if I can put it away, more lifestyle wines, but those wines we only produce per order. And they are not bottled under the Blake label as such. We've got a brand called the Blake Boys and also the Blake Bros. And then we've got a sparkling range with a brut, a rosé, and a non-alcoholic that we do in Nigeria. Wow. So those are the wines that we do, and then we also do brand-specific wines for customers, that we do under their own brand, So, but those are not under the Blake label, So the premium wines bearing our name will always be, the top quality wines.
Okay, that's quite interesting. So people would come to you and you would produce a wine for them and label it for them specifically.
Yes,
and brand it for
yes,
them.
yes.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yes.
Is that a business that you are going to expand, or how do you see it going forward?
If you can put it this way, especially in the times that we live in at the moment, with everyone that's struggling with money at the moment, you can see that the prices of the wine, people, if they're looking for wine, they're looking for less expensive wines at the moment. So for us at this stage, if you can put it this way, your premium wines is your jam, and your I don't really want to call it an entry-level wine, let's say lifestyle wines. They are more your bread and your butter at this stage. And they must be the ones turning your wheels at the moment to afford to do these premium great wines.
Interesting. Miranda, your marketing, how do you, okay, you've got a distribution company in South Africa, and I assume that they also assist you in marketing locally. But how do you go about, what is your main marketing strategy? Is that building distribution systems, or are you marketing, where are you marketing your wines, and how are you marketing them?
Yeah, with a distribution company, they help us a lot. They've got the brand ambassadors actually in the field. And so, and for us, before COVID have hit us, it was important for us, to be in the field, with the brand ambassadors, doing tastings. Because for us, as a fairly unknown brand, it's very important for a potential customer to taste our wines. Because we always say, if you see on a shelf our wine, and you see it compared to a more commercial old brand, and they are roughly more or less the same price, then they will go for the more well-known brand. But I always say, if you taste the wine, I'm sure you will be convinced. So for us, it's very important. But with COVID, it's difficult. In these times, we've started like everyone else. We've started up with a wine club, doing Zoom tastings, with groups of people. And so you have to be creative and inventive, in these different times that we live in at the moment.
I wanted to ask you that because, the coronavirus has forced all of us to rethink our business models. And I was wondering what new things you are doing. You mentioned the wine club. How does that work?
Yeah, what we do with the wine club, the wine club members, they've got an option of a red option, a white option, or a mixed option. Because normally, if someone orders wine online from us, we don't really mix a case. You order either an Amethyst or a Malbec or a Tourmaline, but you know, with a wine club, we give them an option. So if they do, say, for instance, they do a red option, we will give them, for instance, 3 bottles of a specific vintage of the amethyst with a Malbec. But then we change it. We give them, you know, wines, vintages that is not locally available anymore in the trade. Or we do, you know, a specific one, but that is going to be a very special one that's only going to be released later. We do, for instance, a vertical pack of the amethyst, of 1 bottle of the 2011, 1 bottle of the 2014, you know, up until the 2018 that hasn't been released yet. So then we do it on every quarter, you know, we send them out. And then, yeah, so that's basically how it works. And then it works out much, you know, cheaper if they order it, you know, through the wine club.
Okay, interesting. If customers are interested in ordering a wine, so they're sitting at home now and they want to order it, how do they go about getting it? I mean, I know they can't get it delivered now, but they can still order, right? And also obviously when the lockdowns and everything left, how would people order your wines if they don't get it in a specialty bottle store or specialty wine store?
Yeah, well, it's very easy. They can just go onto our website. It's www.blakefamilywines.com. And then what they just can do, you know, they can just follow to order online. Then all the details are there. You won't find our prices on there because, you know, for different reasons, because we believe, you know, everyone's got access to your website. And it's not necessarily just the end consumer, you know, it can also be the trade. And as we all know, there are different prices for trade and for the end consumer. So it's always best just to send us, you know, what you are interested in, and then we will always send you a quote. But, you know, what we can do, what we're going to offer, you know, for up until the end of August, if any of the customers order wine, you know, up until the end of this month, and they must just put in, you know, in the subject line about the winelands, we will offer them a 15% discount on any orders, you know, that they do up until the end of August.
That's awesome. So if people are listening, they need to remember this. Just go onto the Blake Family Wine website. Just repeat that URL again.
Yes, it's www.blakefamilywines.com.
So
That's
go
right.
there and then just put there about the winelands and you'll get a discount. You'll get a, what did you say, 15%?
15% discount.
1.5.
That's
You'll
right.
get a 1.5% discount, which is awesome. Thank you, Marinda. I think the listeners will definitely take onto it. I think people at the moment are looking to support the South African wine industry, which is amazing that people would actually give that support. I think that says a lot about the quality of our industry, and that you know that how it's supported not only in South Africa, but worldwide. Just another question that I have is in your marketing. How important are you finding? I mean, you mentioned that you need to do tastings and be with, you actually have to see the consumer face to face. And I think that whole thing of actually communicating with your customer, because business are moving so much more to direct to consumer, and even if it's not direct to consumer, the consumer wants to know who he's buying from and want to hear these stories. And how do you do that? Do you use social media? How do you actually communicate with your end consumers?
Yes. Yeah, what we do, we use social media, because I think, you know, with printed media, you know, I think the younger generations, if you want to reach them, you know, for us, we found, you know, it's a better platforms to make use of social media. And also, you know, with the more old school of printed media, you know, it's still very important, but it's much more expensive, you know. So we you know, we use the Facebooks, you know, you use the Instagrams, the Twitters, you know, and also very selective emails that we send to our customers.
Yes, you obviously have a mailing list of buyers that you've accumulated
That's
over
correct.
the years. Yes.
Yeah. But I must say, well, you mentioned, you know, with all the support, you know, we really, it's so heartwarming to see, you know, all these absolute support, you know, that the South African wine industry is getting from locals, as well as expats living overseas, and also from importers and distributors from overseas. And I must say, the last three to 4 days, it was really tremendously that we've noted that all the export inquiries that we do get at the moment, and that all shows to me that the whole world is knowing in what situation we are at the moment in the South African wine industry, and it's really heartwarming to see.
I must say that is true, and I'm glad to hear that you guys are actually getting some inquiries and stuff. And I think it will just grow. The awareness about South African wine. People. I know the lockdown and stuff is hard, but ultimately it's almost created a marketing opportunity worldwide.
Yeah.
So it's funny how things work. Miranda, talking about
Yeah.
all of this, what is the most important thing that you've learned in your wine journey? That's you knew from a young age that you wanted to be in wine, and you've done this for a while. What is the most important thing you've learned?
The wine industry that I've learned, is a very, very small industry in South Africa. And we all know of one another, and we all know one another, our stories. So it's for us, I've learned never badmouth any wine or any winemaker or any seller, because at some point, we all need one another. And we as an industry, we have to support one another. And there's always, wine is such a personal thing, there's a wine for every palate, and so for me it's just like, there's not a bad wine. There's just a wine, that doesn't suit your palate. And we always say, not one man is kissing his wife in a similar way than another guy. So there's a wine for everyone. You must just find the wine for your palate.
That's interesting. I'm going to remember that one. Not every guy kisses his wife in the same way. And that's why you can drink, you need to try more wines. So that's a strange thing, right? And this is one of the reasons why I've never been able to really get into something like whiskey, because the problem is you can only drink so many things. And whenever I have a choice, I always tend to go back to the things I know and enjoy. It's very hard actually to shop around, because you want to have, when you have a good meal, you want to have that certain taste that you're used to. So it's interesting.
No, absolutely. It's very important to experiment, and I think
that is true.
What is that's how come it's so great to attend wine shows and wine festivals. Where you pay a certain amount of money, and then you can actually explore. Do not go to the ones that because you know them already. So try something new, because you might be surprised.
Miranda, I'll ask everyone on the show, can you give us your very own wine quote, or your favorite wine quote?
Yeah, for me, it's not specifically just a wine quote per such, but for me, I always say, when work becomes your passion, and your passion also becomes your work, then you will know, that you're on the right track. Nothing will go wrong. So it's not, because wine is our passion, and wine is our lifestyle. That's how come I say, it's our passion. If embrace that lifestyle and that passion, then you will find it. You will taste it in the wine as well.
Okay, excellent, Miranda. Thank you so much for spending time with us. We appreciate it, good luck with everything. And I'm going to give you the last word to say goodbye to our listeners, and also just tell them again about that fantastic offer you're giving them.
Yes, thank you, Will, once again, and for everyone for all the listeners, remember, go to www.blakefamilywines.com, go to the wine online, just follow the prompts. And then, if you use, in the subject line, just about the winelands, we'll give you a 15% discount on all your wine orders up until the end of August. And yes, and I'm sure, hopefully, we will have good news within the next couple of days, and that we are all, everything is opened up, and that everyone else can come and enjoy the wine with a meal, or just share a glass of wine with friends.
I surely hope so, but in any event, we know things will always get better, And thank you very much for spending the time, and have a great day. Ciao,
Thanks,
ciao.
Will. Same to you. Keep well. Bye-bye.
Thank you for supporting our show. If you would like to get more exposure for your business, please have a look at our sponsorship options. Thanks again for supporting About the Winelands. Please follow us on YouTube and on our social media channels. All details and links are in the description.